Hello, so we're on the Japan cruise, sailing in the seas of China right now. We're on the 13th day of 15 days. Now the question that needs to be answered, has this cruise on Diamond Princess met or exceeded our expectations? Well, it was a fantastic itinerary, and this is why we chose this ship, Diamond Princess, because of the itinerary of the places in Japan, Vietnam, Hong Kong that we're going to be visiting, and Taiwan. You'll read all about those places and you'll see the video of the places that we have visited. Great itinerary. And the only reason we booked Diamond Princess is because Celebrity weren't doing a cruise in these waters at the time that suited us. So we paid for a mini suite. I'm not quite sure why they've called it a mini suite, because by any standards it's not a suite. It's a stateroom with a balcony, or veranda as they call it. It's certainly not a suite. Now on Celebrity, if you look at any of our Celebrity cruises, the suites are very, very different indeed. They really are a suite. This isn't. It's a stateroom with a balcony, but just given a posh name, with no real added benefits at all. What was the food like? Well, one of the benefits, I guess, is that you can have Japanese food or European food. Now, I have sampled the Japanese food at quite a few of the meal times, and the majority of the food that I'm eating, of course, is the European, which just suits my stomach and taste far better. I would probably say that the food on Celebrity cruises, just comparing it, there is a far greater choice than there is here on Diamond Princess. Cleanliness of the ship, it's really, really good. And with the hand washing in the Horizon Court, which is the buffet area on the top deck, there is somebody, a member of staff, always monitoring that every passenger washes their hands before going to the food stations, which again is very good, and there's the antibacterial solution to wash your hands with, and so on. Stateroom cleanliness, well, the guy that looks after our cabin, he's a lovely young man and he's doing a good job, but not as efficient as I would hoped he would be. On the first day, I dropped a coin by this window just behind me. Now at my age, with a big belly, difficult to bend over and pick up, so I thought, well, I'll leave it, he'll pick it up, put it on a shelf, but he didn't. Now that coin has moved over the 13 days, and it's moved to different locations, and I guess it's been moved around by the vacuum as he's cleaning the carpet. Likewise, on day one, I dropped a safety pin at the side of my bed, clearly visible. That moves a couple of inches every day, and again, I guess that is purely by the vacuum. There's been no attempt to pick up either the coin or the safety clip, but the cleanliness, yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. The entertainment on board, yeah, I'm really impressed by it. The company of dancers and singers from the ship Diamond Princess, they're very good, they're very professional. They put on some really, really good shows. And of course, Princess Line, they bring on professional entertainers from shore when we dock, and again, they have been very, very high standard. Can't quibble at that at all. The theatre was well designed. When this ship was built, they really have put a great deal of thought and consideration into the theatre, which we don't get on Celebrity, funnily enough. What I mean by this is there are no pillars that are going to be in your way to be an obstacle in viewing what's happening on the stage. Choose any seat in the Princess Theatre and you will have clear view of everything going on the stage. The only thing that they didn't think through carefully was the seating. There's insufficient seats. They're very comfy. They've got more space than what we're accustomed to with Celebrity, funnily enough, but insufficient seats for the amount of people that are coming to the all popular shows. So we have at least 30 to 40 people sitting on the stairs at both sides of the theatre. That means health and safety isn't even considered. That would not meet UK standards by any means, but it meets the standards here apparently. All of the staff that we have encountered on board, very, very friendly. They've been well trained in customer service. It's really a delight to go in at meal times. You're greeted extremely well. You're made to feel that little bit special, that they take an interest in you, and so on. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. Ship's medical service. Well, it's unfortunate to say that I can report on this. I have an infection in a tooth up here and started throbbing, went down to see the doctor. It was just over an hour's consultation, and the antibiotics he gave me plus the consultation, $190 US. Whether you consider that expensive or not, I don't know, but that is what it cost, $190. But all of the medical staff, very, very good, and took good care of me. Complete, thorough medical. Even though it was only my tooth, it was a head to toe medical. Now, many passengers on here, at the meal times, we are meeting different people, obviously, all the time, and we talk about the cruises and our favourite cruises, the favourite locations and favourite ships. And there are two cruise lines that stand out, and they are Princess and Celebrity. And it is funny. Now, this is words of passengers, not my words or putting words into their mouths. A number of times we've been told that Princess Cruise Lines, it's 4-star service, Celebrity 5-star. And of course, they've all said you pay that extra to get the 5-star service. And I would agree with that. I think it really is a 4-star on here compared to 5-star with Celebrity. But it would not stop me from coming back on Princess Cruises. The only reason I would come back is if it was an itinerary that we couldn't get on Celebrity. Yeah, I have been impressed with the service, because Celebrity for me is the all standard. You know, it's the standard that suits myself and my wife, and we judge everything by that because it is so good. And Princess do come very close in many areas. So the conclusion, would we travel Princess again? Yep, as I've just said, based on the itinerary, Celebrity will always remain our first choice for cruising. Now, please do enjoy the rest of this video. You're going to see the places that we have visited. There are little mini videos and photographs for you to enjoy. All I would ask is, please do me a favour. I want to continue doing travel blogs for as long as I can. We are extensive travellers, and to enable me to do this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just subscribe to it and make any comments you like. If you think this is an interesting video, say so. If you think it's rubbish, say so as well. And anything you feel that I could improve in providing this type of a video, please do let me know on those comments. Not sending me an email, just comment on YouTube, and that will help me greatly. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Bye for now. So we've arrived in Yokohama, transferred by taxi from Narita Airport in Tokyo. We have 24 hours here exploring the place. What you can see now is Chinatown in Yokohama. Very interesting area indeed, and we thoroughly explored Chinatown. It had a fabulous cup of ginger tea there, and these are the gardens opposite the hotel. It had been snowing the day before, so it's seen the best. This is a sea eagle. I'd never seen one of these before, a sea eagle looking for its lunch amongst the seagulls. And this is Yokohama. And again, at night time, over the gardens, Yokohama really is very picturesque. This is the bay at night. The next morning, we set sail. So here we are at the cruise terminal, at the dockside, and Princess have got it very well organised. We're just getting ready to board the ship, and here we are. We're now on board and entering our stateroom, which they classify as a mini suite. So you can see the safe there, very pleasant toilet, and it's got the Japanese toilet, heated seats, and all the different flush and so on. And there's a walk-in wardrobe, bedroom as you can see, 2 televisions, wall-mounted, large screen, little lounge area, and then sliding door onto the balcony. And you'll see on the balcony we've got 2 sunbeds and a table, and there was only one day where we could actually use the sunbeds because it wasn't very warm, and it really was quite cold, and it was just literally half a day of sunshine. So you can see quite a big ship. This is Yokohama Bay, going to be sailing in about 3 hours time from when this was videoed. And this is now coming to sunset, and we're getting ready to set sail any moment. Just show you a few photos of the ship. So this is the atrium area, large, spacious, colourful. Not as large as other ships we've been on for an atrium, but it's pleasant. This is the casino before the passengers have been allowed to start placing their bets. And again, another shot of the atrium. And this is the entrance to the Wheelhouse Bar. Now we're getting ready to sail. Sun's going down rapidly, and our first morning is at Kagoshima, which is still Japan. Now we are getting ready for our first excursion, which is going to Kinko Bay by that coach. This is Kinko Bay, and in the background, Mount Sakurajima. It's the most active volcano in Japan. And we were there, I think it was the 20s, let me just check the date that we actually got there, 22nd of January, and there had already been 30 volcanic eruptions. No real fire that you can speak of, just lots of steam. And we're on the ferry going over to Sakurajima. We're not going to get that close to the actual volcano, thank goodness, but we're going to be close enough where you can really see the steam coming out, and lots of lava rocks, of course. And here we are. We've arrived on the mountain, and it's a very gradual climb. No steps at this stage, but we are climbing quite steeply. There's our tour leader at the front, our guide. These rocks in the foreground, it's all from lava. Now that looks like a cloud at the top of the mountain. It's not a cloud. That is the steam that is coming out of the volcano. It erupted a couple of times while we were there. That's all steam that you can see coming from the volcano. So by this time we'd been walking probably 10-15 minutes, steps at the end part, and this is where you start to feel it on your body when you reach our age. But again, the views were absolutely beautiful. Over to the right hand side you had the bay, and then we moved on to the Sengen En-Iso Garden. Now this is back on the mainland. It was built in 1658, this garden, or constructed I should say, in 1658. Iceberg flowers, not lettuces, iceberg flowers. See, it's very picturesque, isn't it? On a sunny day this would be a photographer's dream, it really would. We were not impressed with the snack that we purchased. Now we're in Hong Kong. So we are on day 6 and travelling in a coach. This is typical of Hong Kong City, what the tourists would see. And this was our trip, the beginning of the trip, the best is yet to come, as it says, up to the peak of Victoria Mount, where we can overlook Kowloon Peninsula, something I've been looking forward to for months. Now, Kowloon Peninsula, it's the most amazing landscape that you could imagine, but unfortunately the day we were there, it was covered in a thick cloud, and that cloud never moved. So we're getting onto the train, or as our travel guide would call it, the funicular, but we're getting onto the little train that takes us up to the top of Victoria Peak, and here we are. So again, it's a good steep climb, and it's a good thing the train's doing the work. Now we're only about halfway up, and you can see already the drop that's there, which you'll see more clearly in a moment when we get off the train. And it's such a shame that it was so cloudy. We are right in the cloud here, so that photographs are not going to be that clear and the video won't be that clear. But there you go, that gives you an idea of the cloud level, and that never shifted all day. In fact, it moved with us through to the China Seas as we progress on this cruise. Now, I've removed quite a lot of that cloud through my software. Gordon Ramsay, right at the top of Victoria Peak, got a restaurant up there, and this is on the top of Victoria Peak. Lots of shops, supermarkets. We bought our Hershey chocolate here. Really is a lovely place, and very expensive to live there. Yeah, see that cloud? Such a shame. You know, when you've been looking forward, being a keen photographer as I am, to taking pictures over the bay, wait until you get there and it's cloudy like that. Such a shame. Anyway, we then got in the coach, moved on to Aberdeen Village. Now, this is where thousands of water people live on their junks. Now, what you are going to be looking at, what you just saw in that photo, and what we are heading for now in this video, is a huge floating restaurant. It's called the Jumbo Floating Restaurant. I'll be quiet now and let you enjoy the picture and the music.
If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling. As we wait for the smoke to clear and we watch our dreams appear, I know that we can rise together. This vision that we share is ours. Together we can touch the stars. I know that we will see December. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling.
So as we disembark this little sampan, the flat bottom boat, lovely flowers similar to orchids, and this is the area that we are in. Couldn't resist taking the photographs of these little birds. I don't know what kind they are, but very pretty little birds there in the trees. And we now go on further to in Hong Kong to Repulse Bay. Now this is one of the most expensive residential districts in the world, not just Hong Kong but in the world, and they've got this lovely temple as you enter Repulse Bay, and people come there to worship and say their prayers, and it really was a very special place to visit. It has its own little beach area with very expensive properties in the backdrop there. Nobody swimming, far too cold at this time of the year apparently. And again, Hong Kong on our way back to the ship. And this is from the balcony showing Hong Kong Bay. You can still see that cloud covering the top of the hotels. Real pity. I'd have loved to have been at the top of the Victoria Peak taking this photo looking down, but you wouldn't have even seen them. The cloud was total coverage of the sky. And they had a laser show on in the evening, and again you couldn't even see the lasers. It was above the cloud level, so you missed it. So now we're going to Hue, H-U-E, Hue it's pronounced. And we're going to the Imperial Citadel and the inner fortress, which is known as the Forbidden City. Just look at them on the motorcycles. Children, no crash helmet, but the parents have. So now we are on our way. We've just got off the coach. We've been travelling for about an hour, and I'm going to leave the sound of the video on, just so if you listen carefully, the background, it's all motorcycles and scooters, and you really have to keep out of their way. They are everywhere, and in a moment this road really does narrow, and you're taking your life in your hands if you step out too far. So this is heading to the Imperial Citadel, home of the Imperial family for many, many years. Impressive entrance, isn't it? And there's a moat all the way around the Forbidden City, which is in the middle. And now we are making our way into that area, heading towards the Forbidden City. Very ornate. Everywhere you look, it's very, very ornate. That's our travel guide you can hear in the background. And as you approach, you can see the smoke of the incense that people offer up and say their prayers, give their blessings, thanksgivings for whatever's going on in their lives. So again, I'm going to be quiet for a moment and just let you listen to the background music. And as we head through the city, we are moving into the area where the concubines lived. A huge area, and it's a massive square with the homes, the places that they lived on each side of this square. See how big this is? It's absolutely huge. Getting very, very close now to the area of the concubines. So as we walk through those gates, this is where we are. Very impressive. In a national dress. Very bright colours. Really is lovely. Now we're going on to a different building where we're going to see the tomb and an area called Mu Pagoda, Thean Mu Pagoda, which is en route, built in 1601, and this is en route to the tomb of Tuduk. Again, very impressive landscaping, more incense, more devotions, more prayer, fabulous gardens. Just look at that. Got a little bit on video for you as well. So if you like gardens, this is certainly a place to come. And trees and plants and shrubbery. So we're getting closer and closer now to the tomb. But en route, we visit this little factory where they make joss sticks. So here we are. We're in the grounds where the tomb of Tuduk, T-U-D-U-C. Again, fabulous buildings. 4 guards. And just behind those pillars is the tomb. And this is it. This is the Tuduk tomb. And again, people bring joss sticks in and so on. And that's the view from outside of the tomb looking back. Now we're in Vietnam, Ha Long Bay. And this is on day 9. Ha Long Bay literally means descending dragon. Magnificent rocks. Again, if it had been warm, with a blue sky, the sea would have been a different colour, and we wouldn't be wearing all these cold weather clothes.
The software does that, does it?
When he started out with practice, he used to walk the dogs. He'd walk them and hold it over his shoulder, and I've got the dogs on the leg. And you can't see the pole.
Yeah, the pole is invisible.
Disappears.
Very clever. It's very, very good.
I've got behind him now, he's taking the...
So
So even on such a dark and cloudy day with no sunshine, it was still very impressive as far as I was concerned. And here we are, Vietnam at night from the balcony on the ship. And now we are heading out on an excursion to the capital of Taiwan, Taipei. And this is the Taipei 101 building. Very interesting construction. It is in the shape of bamboo, which means wealth. It has 8 floors, and 8 is a good number, which also means wealth and prosperity. And you can see the coins underneath the first floor, though you've got 4 coins on each side of the building, and those coins again represent wealth. So Japan is very much, and China, Taiwan, very much into prosperity, wealth, finance, and so on. Now this is entering the presidential building in Taipei, and you'll see that we're having our temperatures taken before we enter. Concerns over the coronavirus. This is the ground floor of the presidential building, and we shall be going up to the 4th floor to watch the changing of the guard. And I'll turn my microphone off so you can listen and watch this. So here's a close-up of one of the security guards that you saw in that video a moment ago. And I don't know whether they are trained for it, but we never saw them blink once. So this, again, we are outside the presidential building and now moving to the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. Thank goodness there weren't any steps to climb up, because we went up to the 4th floor in an elevator and we came down by the steps. Again, very impressive building and gardens, really was lovely. Commercial all around us. You can see all of the buildings in the background. You wouldn't realise that you were in the middle of a bustling city, capital city at that. So this is Liberty Park, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall that we are now visiting. Very close to the presidential building. Back onto the coach to take us to our next stop. And this is to the Lungshan Temple, again right in the middle of a very busy business area, and you come across this temple with lots of lanterns. And of course it's just been the Chinese New Year, Year of the Rat, and they've got another celebration coming up as well. So lots and lots of lanterns everywhere you look, and we are now entering into this temple area, as you can see. Now, for their spirituality, water is always good, and here you can see the waterfalls on the right hand side as you walk in, and as you look around the temple in a moment, you will be aware of all of the areas of worship and prayer. And in the center, we'll have a closer look at this in a moment, but you have a monument to the Year of the Rat. And again, there's lots of incense in here, and I will get up close and personal so that you can see this very, very clearly. Now, Lungshan Temple, it's a serene Chinese dynasty landmark. It has wooden doors, stone and bronze beams, there are dragon poles, and there is your rat, the Year of the Rat. Fabulous buildings, absolutely fabulous. And again, if you look beyond the buildings, you'll see the all of the apartment blocks, the businesses, and you have the temple of worship right in the middle, which is always busy. This is a great big incense burner here in the middle. You can see the flames. Inner part of the temple area. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the chap who takes care of the flames for lighting the joss sticks. There's a good close-up of the Year of the Rat. And now we are heading to our next port, which is Okinawa. Sadly, we can't get off the port to do any excursions because of immigration, and the medical part took most of the day, and this is when we had the coronavirus outbreak, and yeah, we just lost a day really here. So I thought I'd take a few photos of the ship. This is at night time just before we sailed Okinawa, and this is the end. I hope you've enjoyed the video.